What's up, LA Kings fans? The Bat Fry, Kenny Fry here with the Silver and Black Lair LA Kings edition. Coming up on this episode, I will be talking this past week's games, some news and notes. We'll take a look at some stats, some standings, this, that, the other. So buckle up and wipe the eye boogies out of your eyes, and let's rock. What's up, hockey fans, LA Kings fans? It's your host, the Bat Fry, Kenny Fry. I hope everybody's doing well. It's Monday, fun day. Get your asses up and get to work. What are you doing out there, First and foremost, I'd like to say Happy Veterans Day to all those that served in our armed forces, past, present, and might as well the hell with it go with the future as well. Their service is unmatched. And commitment and all that good stuff. And without them, I couldn't be doing this nonsense right here. So if you don't like it, blame a local service member. No, but seriously, I have a ton of family that served in the armed forces. My older brother Dorian, going Dan, he was a Marine. My sister-in-law, his wife, also Marine. That's where they met. My uncle Dave, Marine. My grandfather, I was in the Navy. My grandmother's husband, which I don't know if step grandfather's a thing or not. If that's an actual term, but I'm going to use it. Step grandfather, Pappy Fred, we'll call him. He was also a Marine, and countless others. And I cannot forget, of course, my father-in-law, the second most important man in my life besides my dad. He served in the Army, and of course, my wife's grandfather, I think he was in the Army as well. Stormed the beaches of Normandy. Like I said, I can't remember the branch. I believe it was the Army for him as well that he served in, and all those other people. Everybody out there, much appreciated. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. Thank you for your service. I was going to enlist, to be honest with you. I was in high school, senior year. Quick story here, then we'll get to the hockey. But my senior year of high school, I was all ready to enlist. I didn't do well in school. I did well in football. Well enough to probably play small college football. And I didn't do well. I didn't do well in school. I didn't pay attention much. I had too many other things on my mind, to worry about school. And unfortunately, the realization of how important school is did not hit me until a couple of years when I was out of school working swing shifts 7 days a week. And then I was like, God damn, I wish I would have paid attention in school. But that's knowledge that I can pass along to my children and go from there. But anyway, I went to enlist into the Army. Had an Army recruiter come out to my house. They sat there and talked to him for about an hour and a half. Everything was going well. And one of the last questions before he left said, "Did you have any major surgeries or any kind of foreign object in your body that he should be aware of?" I said, "Well, I did have ACL reconstruction surgery. I have a couple screws and a graft and all that good stuff." And he said, "Well, that disqualifies you." So, and then the flat feet and this, that, and the other. But the ACL surgery, ACL reconstruction disqualified me, and I wasted an hour and a half of my time and his time as well. So. It is what it is, and he did tell me that unless there's a major conflict where they need some warm bodies, he said you will be out. He said I'm not even going to push the paperwork through to I think it was Tennessee. He said is where their offices were, and that was that. So a couple months went by, and I graduated high school and went right into the old factory, the high life. You know what I mean? All right. So that's my story. Again, thank you everybody for your service, and let's get to the hockey. A pretty good week for the Kings this past week, from last Monday to this Monday. Uh, a very good week. Played some pretty good competition after being embarrassed last Saturday by the Blackhawks. They played well against the Blackhawks last Saturday. Uh, well enough to win, probably, but it just wasn't. Things were not falling their way. They get that match. That game went to overtime, if I remember correctly. They played well in overtime, well enough to win. Again, just couldn't get the puck in the back of the net, and they ended up losing in the shootout. So they went away with a point. They got away with a point, but still a bit of a bummer there. Losing to the Blackhawks, a team that they should be beating, get those 2 points, but not this time. So that moves us to Monday, from last Saturday to Monday. On 11-4, the Kings were able to defeat the Nashville Predators, a playoff team from last year, a very physical team last season, and they went into the playoffs for the most part fairly hot. They hit a hot streak before the playoffs last season, Nashville. They kind of cooled off a little bit though the last like couple of weeks going into the playoffs, but they were pretty well entrenched into a wild card spot. I think they finished ahead of the Kings. So yeah, I believe they finished ahead of the Kings last season. If I remember correctly, I don't know. I don't remember 100%. I could be falsifying playoff seedings there. I don't remember 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure they finished ahead of the Kings, and they had a hell of a run. Nashville did, and but anyway, a little bit of a slow start for them this season, but still, they're still a good team there. A ton of moves that they made this offseason, picking up some pretty big names, like Stamkos is one. They're the ones I'm not really remembering off the top of my head, so I'm not going to even sit here and canoodle my noodle to remember. So the Kings defeat Nashville 3-0 to get the shutout in the game one of a back-to-back road trip. So back-to-back nights they'll play, both on the road. Huge win. Nice win, 3-0. Defensively, very, very good. Kopitar opened up the scoring in the first. He got his 5th of the season in the first there with an assist from Brant Clark, his 11th assist, and Adrian Kempe, his 7th assist on the season. They go to the second period, no goals scored. Third period, Kevin Fiala. Dude, I feel for the dude. His name's in and out of turmoil here with the Kings. But he scored his 6th goal of the season in the third period, make it 2-0. Assisted by Philip Denault, Philly D, his 5th assist of the season, and Trevor Moore, his 4th assist of the season. And that was 35 seconds in to the third period. So I put it up 2-0. And then finally, Adrian Kempe iced it with an empty netter, his 5th of the season, assisted by Trevor Lewis, his 2nd assistant, Vladislav Gavrikov, his 4th of the season. Great job by the Kings. Overall, I thought defensively, just clogging up lanes. It felt like the Predators weren't getting a whole lot of clean shots off. A lot of sticks in the lanes and the passing lanes and stuff. So a really good job there by the Kings. Not a whole lot of work for Darcy Kemper on this. He does get the shutout. I did have a couple decent saves, but for the most part, the Kings defense looked really, really good. LA, they finished with 27 shots. Kemper stopped 16 to 16. He gets a shutout. Shots-wise, team stats, Kings had 27 shots to Nashville's 16. Hits, the Kings 12 to Nashville's 21. Face-offs 1, Kings 30 to Nashville's 25. Power play, Kings were 0 for 4, but they also held Nashville 0 for 3. So the continuation of the Kings power play just not being there right now continues. But the penalty kill getting better. It seems like it's getting better each game. So we'll keep an eye on the penalty kill at least. Block shots, Kings 12 and Nashville 14. Kemper, like you said, did not see a ton of action. Did have some nice saves though. Things get good job closing up the lanes. So overall, really good team win, a gritty win, and we'll take that. We'll take that first of a back-to-back. Awesome. The one bummer part, Turcotte. Alex Turcotte got hurt during the second period, upper body injury. I I didn't like it. I watched it a couple times. I even watched it again before the show as I was looking over the notes that I wrote throughout the week. And as I was watching the play again, who was it that hit him? I can't remember. I wrote it down, but it doesn't even matter. Jeff Lozon. I don't know if that's how you say it. What the hell? I don't know how you say his name. Lozon, whatever his name is. I came into the check into the boards, upper body injury. Now, I guess they're saying it was a clean check and all that stuff. Like, it didn't hit him in the head. I didn't go for the head. His back wasn't turned to him, so it was kind of like half facing forward. Kind of hit him like from the front half. But he also left his feet. If you go back and watch it, he did kind of leave his feet and hit him high. I don't know if that's something that's frowned upon in the NHL. I'm not an NHL player, but I did stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night, and so I don't know. I don't know where they stand on that. But Turcotte was put on IR, and he's eligible to come off IR this coming Wednesday against the Avs. So we'll see what happens there. If he does come off, or they hold him out for a little bit longer, we'll see where he's at. He is skating now, but he's also wearing the red jersey, non-contact jersey. So we'll just keep an eye on that coming up on Wednesday. See if he's reinserted into the lineup if they hold him out for a little bit longer. So that was a bit of a bummer because Turcotte's been playing fairly well. They moved him around a little bit, but a lot of his playing times went to the top line with Kopitar and Kempe. And now he's not putting a ton of points on the board or anything like that, but he seems to be a spark plug. He really does, and making Kopitar feel a little bit younger, and keeping Kempe moving. Keep feeding Kempe, and good things will happen. So we move to the next night after that 3-0 win. We face the Minnesota Wild up in Minnesota, and so far one of the big surprises of the season. They going into that game, they had a really good record, one of the top teams in the West, and so surprising some people, but it's early on. It is early on, and you weren't sure how the Kings were going to play it back to back. Who did you start? Where did you start? Kemper, who you look at as your number one goalie against a team with the better record, or did you start him the first game with a team with a lesser record, maybe to just get those 2 points out of the back-to-back. But they went, obviously with Kemper in the first game of the back-to-back to get that 3-0 win, and they had Rittich go the second game of the back-to-back, obviously as Copley's down with Ontario. So this game, first period, no goals. Second period, Minnesota, they get on the board first. Bogosian scored his first goal of the season, assisted by Gaudreau and Hartman. The Kings tied up. A goal scored by Warren Foegele, his fifth of the season, assisted by Laferriere and Quinton Byfield. The Kings take the lead in the second period, 2-1. Power play goal by Kevin Fiala, assisted by Laferriere and Kopitar. They go ahead into the third, and right away, Trevor Lewis, he scores. And that's his second goal of the season, also was his 100th career goal for Trevor Lewis. That made it 3-1 Kings, assisted by Andre Lee and Tanner Jeannot. The Kings add to that lead. They made it 4-1 with Quinton Byfield's first goal of the season, assisted by Vladislav Gavrikov and Trevor Moore. It's great to see QB off the schneid there. And he's been playing better. Right? You watch him, his stick handling is getting much better. He's finding himself in front of the net a lot more. And I feel like he's starting to settle in a little bit. I wouldn't be too surprised if over the next couple of weeks he starts seeing bunches of goals. Like not a consistent 1-2 goals every game, but maybe like one game get 2 goals, maybe 3 games later a goal, maybe 2 games later a goal or 2, so stuff like that. I feel like he's going to start scoring goals in clumps. So it's good to see him get off the schneid there. Then Trevor Lewis finishes off the night, make it 5-1 Kings. It's a 5-1 win. He gets his third goal of the season, second of the night on an empty netter, assisted by Philly D and Trevor Moore. Great game by the Kings. Absolutely great game. And I was a little bit nervous watching this game. I didn't get to watch the whole game. I got to watch a little bit more than half of this game. And when the Kings, like I said, the first and second period, I didn't get a chance to watch a third, but I was watching it. The Kings were up 2-1. And but I was a little bit nervous in the beginning They were being outshot. I think at one point, I think it might have been 11-0 or something pretty close to that. And they just couldn't get anything going offensively. They just could not get anything going in the O zone. When they were in the O zone, they couldn't get anything through, and passing wise or shot wise. So it took a little bit for them to kind of get rolling, but once they did, they weren't to be stopped. They weren't to be stopped, and great job by the Kings. Second and third period, complete team win, complete game there between the second and third. And like I said, the first a little bit rocky start, but they settled in and kept working through it, and really laid the wood to Minnesota. I got a comment here. Our boy Paul Spencer checking in. Paul Spencer's going to be on the Sully squad today, so be sure to check that out. All right, our boy Paul, like him, hate him, loathe him. No matter what, he's going to tell you how it is. All right, Dallas Cowboy fan, he's going to tell you how it is. Things are not going good in Big D, and he's going to be on the Sully squad. Sully squad talks all Philly sports, and so he'll be on there. And I have a feeling that we're going to see some veins popping out of the man's forehead. So get the popcorn ready. He says, "What's up, buddy? At the gym. Is Winnipeg really this good? 14-1. I've been betting them each night. Can they keep it up?" Winnipeg last season, if you go back and look at last year, very good team. Maybe a little bit overrated last year, but still a very, very good team. I don't know if they're 14-1 good. You look at some of the teams that they beat. They played a lot of the weaker teams. You're looking at like Anaheims and Chicago's and San Jose's and stuff like that. Their one loss did come to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Maple Leafs, sitting at 5-4, or no, what is their record now? Crap, it was 5-4 when they beat Winnipeg. But anyway. Toronto's not any kind of world, but Toronto's a very good team that just happens to choke every year in the playoffs. But Winnipeg, I think Winnipeg, they're going to be there all season, probably near the top. For the most part, I would say, top three. They should make a top three. I don't see them getting in through wild card. But when it comes to playoff time, when the rubber meets the road. We'll see what happens to them there. See if they are able to step up to some of these bigger name teams. Because I'm sure Edmonton's going to be there. As soon as they start ramping it up, they did the same thing last season, slow start, and then they just kick everybody's ass afterwards. Vancouver, they're off to a little bit of a slow start compared to last season, which last season they were a bit of an overachiever. Who else we got here? Colorado, Dallas, both those teams off to a little bit slow starts as well. So yeah, Winnipeg is for real. But I mean, when it comes down to it at the end, I wouldn't pick them to win the Stanley Cup. I would pick them absolutely to make the playoffs because they are a very good team. Just like last season, a very good team, one of the better records in the West. Besides that, I wouldn't expect them to go anywhere in the playoffs. So if I were you, I'd continue betting Winnipeg, especially when they're playing poorer teams. Why not? It's not going to hurt. 14-1. There's no reason to believe that they won't continue to. They won't be able to continue to win those games. Take care of business when it comes to the lesser teams. Now, when it comes to the bigger teams, when they start facing more competition with the Golden Knights or the Kings or, like I said, Dallas, Colorado, Vancouver, Edmonton, teams like that, we'll see where they're at then. The Kings do play Winnipeg at the end of the month. I think it's the 27th. I was looking that up just actually before I came on. And it's kind of one of the reasons why I'm as late as I am on here is because I kind of lost track of time. What are they dicking around? That's what we call it. We're dicking around. Before I knew it, it was like I was almost 10:30. It's like Jesus Christmas. So I lost all track of time there. So looking back at the stats, David Rich stopped 23 out of 24 shots. It's a .958 save percentage. Shots wise, team stats: Kings 28 shots, Minnesota 24. And like I said, it was I think it was a 7-0 to 11-0 shot advantage for Minnesota early on in the first. And, the Kings were able to outshoot them, after that. 28-24. Hits went to Kings 25-11. Face-offs went to Kings 33-30. Power play, Kings were 1 for 1, and they were able to kill all 4 of Minnesota's power play opportunities. So great job there on special teams. Block shots also went to the Kings 13-9. And so then, of course, great night. Then there's also the no, that did not this game. The next game, the Vancouver game was with. I'm getting ahead of myself. So move on to the next night. The Kings take the back-to-back. They sweep the back-to-back on the road. 2-0. Great job there by the Kings. And you look at the defense and the goalkeeping. Really, there, they did get the goals, obviously, but the defense and the goalkeeping really keeping them in the games, especially the second game against the Minnesota Wild. Like I said, jumping off early, the way the Wild were all over the Kings' crap. The Kings were unable to get anything going. And the defense and the goaltending were able to keep them in it. Keep them in it long enough to where the Kings kind of settled in, got their bearings, caught their breath, and started rocking and rolling. And the rest was text after that, whatever the hell that means. So you look ahead. A couple days later, the Kings played the Canucks at the Crypt, and unfortunately, they lose this one. They played well. They did play well. They had some opportunities to actually win it, but they come up short 4-2. First period, Quentin Byfield scored a second goal of the season in back-to-back games here, assisted by Warren Fogle and Lair. That made it 1-0 in the first, and the Vancouver Canucks were able to tie it up 1-1 with a power play goal by Garland. That was his 4th of the season. Then they went ahead in the second period. The Canucks went ahead 2-1 with a goal by Jacob DeBrusk. That was his 3rd of the season. Then Quentin Hughes, he was able to add to the lead, make it 3-1. Vladislav Gavrikov brought the Kings back, made it 3-2 with his first goal of the season, as assisted by Trevor Moore and Philip Denault. And then, unfortunately, the Vancouver Canucks were able to put it away 4-2 with a JT Miller empty netter. And like I said, the Kings did play good. They played well enough to win. I feel like just the things weren't falling for them in this game. A lot of shots off the post, a lot of missed shots wide of the net, and they had opportunities. They had plenty of opportunities, just weren't able to capitalize on it. And so now getting to the bummer part where I was kind of confusing the games. Unfortunately, Tanner Jeannot, he got a what the hell is that? A match penalty, a 10-minute major match penalty where he was ejected from the game for a head hit on Brock Besser. Huge bummer there. And to be honest with you, I watch it. I watched that, and it looked dirty. I'm not gonna shit you around here. It looked like a dirty hit. It was a dirty hit, and he deserved to be suspended. So he was suspended 3 games. He was kicked out of that game as well. And it was unfortunate because Besser had the puck. You see Jeannot come down. If you're watching it at the bottom of the screen, he comes down. He starts swooping up. Brock Besser passes the puck, and Jeannot just keeps going, and takes I don't know if it was his shoulder, if it was his elbow or bicep, right into the head of Brock Besser, put Besser down. Besser was out for the rest of the game. And I can't remember what. I feel like that was early on. I feel like it might have been the second period, but I could be wrong about that. And yeah, I believe it was the second period. I like I said, maybe it was the first. I don't know. It doesn't matter when it was. It was during the game. All right. Anyway, it was a dirty hit. It was a dirty hit, and suspended for 3 games. And it was a bummer to see. You don't want to see anybody go down like that, especially with some sort of head injury. A couple things you don't want to see in hockey. You don't want to see anybody getting cut by a hockey skate, and you don't want to see anybody getting a head hit or getting boarded and stuff like that. Head into the board or getting checked face first into the board. So many different bad things can happen, whether it's spinal or concussion wise, and you just don't want to see any of that. That's bad stuff. So well deserved suspension for Tanner Jeannot. So looking Darcy Kemper, he was the starting goalie for that. He stopped 20 of 23 shots. Team stat wise, Vancouver 23 shots, LA's 28. Hits, Vancouver 33 to LA's 26. Face-offs went to Vancouver 25-24. Power plays, Vancouver was 1 for 3. LA was 0 for 4. And block shots went to LA 21-18. And we have Eileen checking in saying, woo! Morning, Kenny Fry. Good morning, Eileen. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Yankees made it to the World Series. They didn't play well. I really thought the Yankees would have taken them to 7. I didn't really doubt the Dodgers would win. I was rooting for the Yankees. My niece is a Yankee fan. And, I don't like Yamamoto. After the whole offseason dealings there with him and the Mets and the Dodgers. I got my Donald Duck mug happening here. See that? Donald Duck, he's all pissed off. We're going to make our he's all pissed off all the time. I like Donald Duck. He's angry. He's an angry duck. You know what I mean? What's not to like about that? It's a pissed off duck walking around. You don't cross somebody like that. You don't. So, but anyway, so it's going to be exciting to see what the Yankees do in the offseason. I don't want to talk about your Giants. No, Jets. You're a Jets fan. I want to talk about your Jets because you know why. Anyway, so then you move ahead to the Kings playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. That was also at the Crypt. The Kings win that game. Really good game for the Kings. Then with a couple guys out, Turcotte being out, Tanner Jeannot being suspended. We had some line changes. We had freaking name. His name is killing me here. Hellenius. I can't remember his first name now. Anyway, his last name's Hellenius. He was brought up from Ontario. A big dude. 6'6", 6'6", I believe. A forward, I guess the plan for him, he was a second round pick back in 2021, I believe it was. So the plan with him is to eventually have him center the fourth line. That's everything I've been reading on him. And so he's not a scorer. He's more of a defensive type forward. And when I hear that, right away my thought goes to Trevor Lewis. Trevor Lewis ending coming near the end of his career. So the sensible thing would be to have Hellenius move right into where Trevor Lewis is in that fourth line center and see what he can do. So good for Hellenius to get some playing time here. He and Andre Lee, kind of like the Bash brothers last season in Ontario. I remember listening to the playoffs last year, hearing a lot of Andre Lee, hearing a good bit of Hellenius as well. Hellenius had a pretty good season last year. Again, not a lot of points on the board for him, but defensively, very, very good job. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him coming up here in the future when Turcotte does come back and Jeannot's off the suspension. It's going to be interesting to see how they move this lineup around. Do they keep Hellenius up? Do they move him down? This is the first time he is brought up. There's a certain amount of time they can be brought up from Ontario up to the main club before they lose before they have to go on the waivers, I believe. So something like that. Yeah, I think they can come up a couple times and sent back down a couple times, and they have to be put on a waiver, and you have to pass through waivers, and hope nobody claims them. Something like that happened last season with I don't think it was it Turcotte? It was picked up by Nashville, I think. I don't think it was Turcotte. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Akil Thomas. Maybe it was Turcotte. I don't remember. But anyway, so looking at this game, a couple different lineups. Originally to start, you had your number one line was Kopitar, Kempe, and Fiala. Then you had Hellenius down there in the fourth line. I think it was Trevor Lewis, Hellenius, and who else was it down there? Akil Thomas. I believe. I think it was Thomas, or no, it was Andre Lee. It was Andre Lee, Lewis, and Hellenius, and then Akil Thomas was up on the third line, I believe. Or was it the second line? Second or third line. Well, anyway, Fiala gets himself in a little bit of trouble with a turnover, a really ugly turn, a really, really bad turnover. A pass across the middle of the ice. I believe it was in our zone, defensive zone, and it ends up turning into a goal. Just really, really bad turnover. Really bad turnover. Just can't have that. And that's one of the things about Fiala. I love Kevin Fiala. I think he's fantastic. I feel like he has every opportunity to be a terrific scorer and a difference maker for this team and for any team that he plays for. But specifically for this team, and he just has these brain farts, man. It's always been like that. It seems like whether it's a dumb penalty at a terrible time or it's a turnover or what have you. It just I don't know. You just have to wonder sometimes, what the hell was that? And then he'll come back with three amazing things. So it's like, yeah, you have to take the good with the bad. But anyway, he was demoted. He lost some ice time against the Blue Jackets because of it. They moved Trevor Lewis up to the top line with Kopitar and Kempe. They moved Fiala down to the I can't remember if it was the second or third line, and they put Hellenius at center, I believe. So yeah, you had Andre Lee, Hellenius, and Akil Thomas on the fourth line. I think you had Fiala on the third line with Byfield and Fogle. I could be wrong about that though. I can't remember exactly how he switched it up. But then that's one of the things I really do like about Jim Hiller is his ability, his willingness to mix things up. If something's not going right or somebody's not doing something well, either pulling him, benching him, or demoting him a little bit. Say, hey, you can't be doing stuff like that. You can't be hurting a team like that, and you have to pay for it. You have to be punished or whatever. And he does it. He's a man of his word, and he's a man of action. And so far, I really like what I've seen from Jim Hiller and also his ability to his not ability. It's not really an ability, but his willingness to mix the lineups up a little bit. If he feels something's not working or something might work better, he'll try it out. And if it doesn't work better, all right, he'll mix it back up and either put it back the way it was, line combinations or whatever, or he'll try a different type combination. So it's one of the things that you wouldn't see Tom McClellan do at all, but you do see Jim Hiller do. So anyway, back to the game here. So the scoring wise, first period, the Blue Jackets went up 1-0. Voronkov scored his first goal of the season. Second period, Gavrikov tied the game up with his second of the season, assisted by Kempe and Kopitar. I made it 1-1. The Kings took the lead in the second period with Warren Fogel's sixth goal of the season, assisted by Akil Thomas and Hellenius. There he is again, 2-1 LA. He had a very good game, Hellenius did, and I just can't remember his freaking name for the life of me. And I tell you what, excuse me, I'm burping here while I'm talking. That's terrible. But anyway, I seen his name 10,000 times, over the last couple of days. I'm jotting notes for today, and for whatever reason, it's not coming to me. I should have wrote his first name down because his name's newer to me. I don't see it all the time, and I knew I was going to forget it. So whatever. It's not like he's going to get pissed off at me. He's not watching it. So in the third period, the Kings take a 3-1 lead with a shorthand goal by Trevor Moore, assisted by Philly D. Great shot by Trevor Moore. Absolutely great shot. Quick wrister. The goalie was watching the replay of it. Goalie still getting into position, kind of sliding. I guess it would be to the goalie's right to cover that corner post, and it was just a quick flick of the wrist by Trevor Moore. Goalie was not ready for it. Was able to put it in. Great goal by Trevor Moore. That was his second of the season. Like I said, that's just by Philly D. Made it 3-1. Columbus answers back to make it 3-2 with a goal by Provorov. That was his first of the season, a power play goal. Then the Kings answer back with that, with a goal by Lair, his ninth of the season, assist by Edmondson and Fogle. That made it 4-2. And the Kings ice it with an empty netter by Brandt Clarke, his second of the season, assist by Andrzej Kopitar and Adrian Kempe. And it was a very interesting empty net goal. I can't remember the last time I seen an empty net goal like this, where it was almost like a power play without the goalie. You know, the Kings are passing around trying to get it in, but the Blue Jackets are playing, decent, almost penalty kill type defense, blocking the shots, trying to clear it out. The Kings kept getting back, passing around, playing unselfishly, because any one of those guys could have just tried to flick it at the net, just trying to get that easy empty net goal to pad their stats. But they're looking for the correct shot, pass around, move it around. And finally it came open for Brandt Clarke, and he was able to put it in. So also in this Laferrier's goal, beautiful goal. It was a beautiful goal. I think it was a shot. Was it a shot by Edmondson? Yeah, it was a shot by Edmondson. From out, fairly deep. And Laferriere was able to get a stick up, kind of turned it a little bit, where it hit off the blade of the stick, changed directions, hit the goalie's shoulder, and went right into the net. It was a beautiful goal, really nice goal. And one of the things that Laferriere has been awesome at so far this season, I mean, absolutely awesome, is getting in front of the net and looking for rebounds, looking for tips, just, making a mess there in front of the net. And that's something that I've been, hoping that we could see Byfield do more of. Just hasn't gotten there yet, but he's getting there. I feel like Byfield is getting there, working in front of the net a little bit. But Laferriere, great job in front of the net. A real presence there. And you need more big bodies like that are willing to do that, willing to get in there and risk it, and you'll make things happen. Rittich was in goal. He was in between pipes for this one. He stopped 24 out of 26 shots. That moved his record up to 5-3-0 on the season. Team stat-wise, shots went to Columbus 26-23. Hits went to Columbus 16-8. Face-offs won. Went to Kings 33-25. That's hard to say. Power play, 1 for 3 for Columbus, 1 for 4 for LA. Shorthanded goals, LA had 1. Blocked shots, LA 22-12. And so a really good week for the Kings. Finished 3-1 this past week from Monday to Monday. And, I guess Monday to Sunday, I guess it would be, because they play tonight. But 3-1, we'll take that. They beat some decent teams, a good team. They beat a team that they should beat in the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they lost to a team that, is not too all right, you can see them losing to Vancouver. They owned Vancouver last season, and they were also one of the teams that really hated when the Kings were playing the 1-3-1. So, they completely, just constantly complain about it. And I know the Kings aren't playing anymore. I believe they're playing, was it a 1-2-2? I think it is something like that. And it's a lot of complaining last season from certain teams, and Vancouver is one of the teams that are top. Because one of the reasons were because they were the top of the West for pretty much the whole season, at least the Pacific Division, right? Yeah, the Pacific Division, and whenever they play the Kings, they just couldn't get anything going. The Kings, I don't know if the Kings swept them last year, but it was pretty close. I don't remember 100%, but I know they won more than they lost against the Canucks last year. So no crying from them this time. But we'll take it. It's a loss, but we'll still play it. They played well against Canucks, and I feel pretty confident the next time they play them, the Kings can handle them. So looking at the standings right now, in the Pacific Division, you have LA sitting at the top of the Pacific Division at 9-4-3. That's 3 overtime losses, 21 points. The Vegas Golden Knights are in second, 9-3-2 with 20 points. Vancouver sitting in third place, 7-3-3 with 17 points. Calgary, 7-5-3, 17 points. That's where the Kings play tonight. Edmonton 7-7-1 with 15 points. Seattle 6-8-1 with 13 points. I know a lot of people were expecting bigger things from Seattle, but again, early on right now. So, and then bringing up the rear, Anaheim and San Jose. Anaheim's 5-7-2 with 12 points, and San Jose 5-9-2 with 12 points. And so looking at the West overall, Winnipeg's at the top of the West, like Paul mentioned earlier, 14-1. Winnipeg's sitting at 14-1-0, 28 points. Minnesota 10-2-3, 23 points. Kings 9-4-3, 21 points. Vegas 9-3-2, 20 points. Vancouver 7-3-3, 17 points. Calgary 7-5-3, 17 points. Dallas 8-5-0, 16 points. Edmonton 7-7-1, 15 points. The Utah Hockey Club 6-6-3 with 15 points. Colorado 7-8-0, 14 points, and St. Louis 7-8-0 with 14 points. So those are your standings. Looking at some statistics. And his name is Samuel Hellenius. Damn it, I knew I wrote it down somewhere, and there it is. I knew it. Damn it. All the time. Anyway. Looking at stats, Kopitar's leading the way. 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points. He leads the team in points. His plus-minus rating is at 3. Laferriere, 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points. Plus-minus of 10. He's leading the team in goals. Adrian Kempe, 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points. Plus-minus is at 5. Brant Clark, 2 goals, 11 assists, 13 points. Plus-minus of 2. Kevin Fiala, 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 points, a plus-minus of -5. Philip Denault, 1 goal, 8 assists, 9 points. And his plus-minus is at 4. Trevor Moore, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. Plus-minus at 3. Warren Fogle, 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points. I really like Warren Fogle, what he's been able to do so far. A little bit of a slow start with the Kings. New team, maybe. I don't know what it was. But a little bit of a slow start, but the last 10 games really turned it on. 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points, plus-minus 8. Quentin Byfield, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points, plus-minus 1. Gavrikov, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points, plus-minus 12. I believe he leads the plus-minuses at plus 12. Joel Edmondson, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points. Plus-minus of 1. Mikey Anderson, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. Plus-minus of 10. Trevor Lewis, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. Plus-minus of 0. And then some of the young guys, Alex Turcotte, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. Plus-minus of 8. Andre Lee, no goals, 2 assists, 2 points, -4. And Akil Thomas, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points, and a plus-minus of 1. Looking at the goalies, Darcy Kemper, our, I guess, one goalie, I guess you'd call it, or top goalie. He's 4-1-3. That's 4 wins, 1 loss, and 3 overtime losses, a 2.72 goals against, and a save percentage of 900. You want that save percentage a little bit higher. Goals against, all right. David Rich, 5-3-0, goals against 2.67, but his save percentage is .890. So these goalies are pretty close, pretty even, I would say. So we have that. And like I said about Samuel Hellenius, now that I have his first name, 21 years old, 2nd-round pick in 2021, 6'6" forward. He was picked 59th overall. Spent the last 2 seasons, I believe, definitely last season, down with Ontario. I got a comment here. Best viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. Do not. Disdainful feather. Yeah. I should have read that one before I put it up there. That's garbage. So that's what that is. Don't punch that into your computer. Who knows what that is? That's probably some sort of virus or something. Anyway, looking at some team rankings here. Kings for goals for per game. They're sitting at 12th at 3.38 goals per game. Goals against, 9th, 2.88 goals against. Power play percentage, 21 They're sitting at 21st at 16.4%. That's garbage. They got to get much better at that. And one of the things that you've heard about Jim Hiller, one of the reasons why he was originally brought on the coaching staff. My dog's barking. Was to because his special team prowess. He's a special teams kind of guy. Power play, penalty kill, and that's his specialty. And there's no reason why it should be this bad right now. They're sitting at 21st currently, 16.4%. Penalty kill, 17th, 78.7%. I feel like that's getting better. I feel like their penalty kill is getting better, so we'll see where that goes from there. Shots are sitting at 16th at 29.6 shots per game. Shots against, second at 25.4. And that's where I was talking about earlier in the show, where they're getting sticks in the lanes, getting bodies in the lanes, getting people on body to body, stick on pucks, a lot of poke checks, good job back checking and stuff like that. Working the boards very well, and getting the puck out of the defensive zone. And then faceoffs won 19th at 50.1%. I need to do better there as well. So next up for the Kings tonight, we go to Calgary to play the Flames at 8:30 p.m. The Flames are sitting at 7-5-3. So it should be a good matchup tonight. Hopefully the Kings can come away with a win after a couple nights off. Then we go to Colorado to face the Avalanche. We're 7-8. That's Wednesday at 10 p.m. That one's going to be on True TV, TNT, or Max. Tonight's game is going to be on ESPN Plus if you have ESPN Plus. And then next Saturday, or this upcoming Saturday, however you want to look at it, they play Detroit. They come back home to play Detroit, who's sitting at 6-7-1. That's Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so finally, we got my 3 stars of the week. First, I'll do the honorable mentions. Honorable mentions, we have Philly D, Philip Denault. He had 4 points this past week, 4 assists. Anze Kopitar, 1 goal, 3 assists. He had 4 points. Adrian Kempe, 1 goal, 4 assists. He had 5 points. David Rittich, he was 2-0 Saturday to Sunday, from Monday to Sunday. He was 2-0 in his 2 starts. He stopped 47 out of 50 shots for a .940 save percentage. Great job by David Rittich there. So our number 3 star of the week, for me, Warren Fogle, 2 goals and 2 assists, 4 points. Like I said, I really like the stuff that he's been doing. Every time he's out on the ice, I feel like he's noticed, meaning that he's making things happen. He's doing things positively. So, good for Warren Fogle. Sitting down there, I think he's on the Byfield line. I feel like it's Laferriere, Byfield, and Fogle, if I remember correctly. And then it's Fiala. Usually it's Fiala, Moore, and Denault. So he's my number 3 star of the week. My number 2 star of the week goes to Laferriere, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Great week for him. Again, he's continuing to make things happen. And like I just mentioned before, working the front of the net, being that presence, that big body in front of that, screening the goalie, getting tips, redirecting pucks, and cleaning up rebounds. So as long as he can continue doing what he's doing, there's no reason to believe that he shouldn't continue to score the way he's been scoring. Cat. And my number 1 star of the week goes out to Trevor Moore. He had 1 goal, 4 assists, and I feel like I could see him starting to figure it out. Going up to my Donald Duck here. Anyway, I feel like he's going to start figuring it out. You're going to start seeing some more goals from him, just like I said about Quentin Byfield. As soon as they get that first one, I feel like they can start piling these goals on top of each other, and the Kings will be much better off. And the Kings, they don't have an elite scorer. They have some really good scorers. You look at Kempe, Fiala. I feel like Byfield eventually could be a really good scorer. Kopitar is still a pretty decent scorer. And so you look at guys like that, they don't have an elite scorer. It's more of like a team thing. You look back at last season, they had so many guys with double-digit goals scored, probably one of the best in the league with distribution of goals. And it's something you're going to see again this year. And moving forward, they just don't have an elite scorer, which is fine. You don't need an elite scorer to win. But sometimes it's nice to have one of those guys just take over the game. I do feel like the closest we might have to an elite scorer would be Adrian Kempe. But just wait for him to kind of break out on that and just start dumping some goals in. So those are my 3 stars of the week. So that's all I have for today. I talked your ear off, talked a little bit of hockey here, talked that some LA King stuff. So hopefully we can get a win tonight and move on from there. So appreciate everybody for checking me out. Before I go, got some business to take care of, right? You've seen the show before. You know what I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about my guy, your guy, everybody's guy, Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. You can reach Big Al at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. Jason Fine specializes in motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workman's comp, and personal injury claims. He has 3 office locations conveniently located throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. His office in New Jersey is located in Cherry Hill on 3 Greensward Lane. And the phone number there is 856-209-5258. And his office in Pennsylvania, he has 1 office in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the office is located on 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The phone number there is 412-365-8151. And in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, his offices are located at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. And the phone number there is 267-888-2980. That's Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. Be sure to mention Out of the Box Sports sent you, and he'll hook you up with a great deal. And all that good stuff. See, I don't know the exact numbers of the deal. I know the other guys that they do podcasts, they know the exact numbers and they'll blurt it out there. I don't want to blurt out the wrong numbers and look like an idiot, so I'm not going to do it until I get the real numbers and I can write them down, and so I won't forget them. For myself here, my promo code, I have a new sponsor called W Energy Drink, and you could check them out at www.w.gg. It's a mouthful for me. Once again, let me start over. Check them out at www.w.gg. Check out all the product there. And once you figure out what you want, they have energy drinks, they have hydration drinks. They have stuff in cans for energy drinks, powdered stuff. They have packets, they have shakers, a whole bunch of other stuff. Check them out. Really cool stuff. They're more geared toward gamers. What I'm getting out of this, and but you know what? Why not? Maybe somebody out there listening right now is a gamer, like, oh man, I need to get me some of that W. I wish I had a promo code so I can get like 10% off or something. Well, you know what? You're in luck today. Use my promo code, The Batcave. That's all one word, The Batcave. That's The Batcave, all one word, for 10% off your order at w.gg. And you'll like it. I got an energy drink in the mail recently. I ordered. It's called Cali O Cream. So it's a mango orange cream mixture. It smells terrific. Tastes really good. My daughter, I let her try it. She says it's good. She said she likes it, but she kind of, she drank it, and then when I offered her more, a couple days later before her softball game, she just had a couple sips and she gave it back to me. So I don't know, what that means, but she goes, I like it. So she said she likes it. She's not going to lie to me, right? Kids don't lie to their parents usually, and whatnot. So yeah, they lie to your parents all the time. So be sure to check W out and use that promo code, The Batcave, all one word, for 10% off your order. Be sure to check out of the Box Sports on YouTube and X at OOTBox Sports. Give us a like, follow, and subscribe. Please subscribe to that YouTube channel and follow us on X. We appreciate it very much. You can also check us out on Facebook at Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. You can check me out, Silver and Black Lair wise, at SB_Lair_OOTBE. That's on X. My YouTube channel is at the Batcave _OOTBSE. That's at the Batcave _OOTBSE as well. So, all right. That's all I have for today. My mouth is super dry. I'm starting to trip over my words and starting to stutter and mess things up. So I'm going to get the heck out of here before I make a total ass of myself, even more so than I already have. So that's all I have. Be sure to check me out again next week. Probably go live. I'm going to check the schedule again to see what we have like I mentioned, we have the Flames today, Avalanche Wednesday, and then Saturday we have the Red Wings. I'm going to see what we have Monday or Tuesday. If we have a game Monday, I'll go live Monday morning again. If we have a game Tuesday, I'll go live Tuesday morning and do the Raiders on Monday morning. So we'll figure that out next week, actually. So be sure to check me out. Stay tuned. Look for those alerts. I'll put them out there, and I'll do a better job at promoting my shows so I get more people watching. Hey, everybody that watched, I got 62 live viewers right now. I appreciate it very much. And to those that commented, thank you. I'll be live Wednesday morning with the Bat Cave at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking New York Mets baseball. And then Thursday, I plan on going live 10 a.m. with the Silver and Black Lair Las Vegas Raiders edition. And I will try not to lose my shit again. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and check out the last episode of the Silver and Black Lair Las Vegas Raiders edition, Silver and Black Lair Raiders edition, I call it. And it wasn't a good episode for me. I was, really pissed off the way the Raiders are playing, and I'm not going to get into it again because I feel myself getting all sweaty and angry again, and there's no reason to do that. Kings are playing well. I'm going to take that for what it is. All right. Thank you, and I'll see you guys again next week. Go Kings, go!